couldn't edit videos. And you know, but I've been struggling. I've been really struggling for years. I'm losing my show, losing my house, losing my bills, losing my bus. Spending $5,000. I didn't really lose my bus, but my bus is just like, can't get it fixed. It's like I have it, but I can't get it fixed. Like I can't, like I keep throwing money at this bus problem trying to get it fixed, and that didn't work. Now I'm working on getting a new bus. But it's just like, and then I bought this van, which is probably with a complete waste of money, because it's falling apart. I needed something, so I didn't have to like.
Alpha Team, this is Chief Security Blanchard. Are you a sight for sore eyes? I've been holed up in the mansion since yesterday trying to organize a containment response. Now that you're here, let's lock down that AO. I try body cams and coordinate.
Semtex, have fun.
The problem is that when people not like. The problem is that people. The problem with society.
Roger to Alpha. 3 Janus-signed staffers are missing somewhere in your area. Locate and extract. I'm counting on their expertise to end this operation.
I'll tell you the same thing I told my ex during my last UTI. It'd be real nice if you could save screwing me for another day. He's pretty. Can he talk? See? Can't be hungry if you don't have a head. Problem solved. I swear this takes longer every time. The box hates me. Not that I care. Okay, I do care.
Sorry you came here yet. Well, if anyone had to show up, I'm glad it was you.
Putting my bet in. I'd sooner put my money on a 3-legged horse. That's a relief. I was sure you'd have me over a barrel. Again.
Yeah, I could you get a little bit of it. Yeah, I could you get a little bit of trim. And get my hair a little bit nicer. What?
Food. And a drink.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, my credit card just got maxed out. So I get out of it. I have credit card. Everything was $5.
Things are pretty dog shit as it is. No need to make it worse. You got it? Wonder what kind of chair I could bring in legs. If it's used as a slingshot, I'm fucking done.
You know?
Bye.
lot of jobs. You just need to get me a kind of feel like I'm stupid. So, that guy is like, hey, he's like, office because he charges the stupid kills. He's like, oh, just give me an opportunity. Save, you do. So it's like, no, I'm sorry.
One ugly bug KIA.
I know how to install light switches. Yeah, that's what we need.
Take it from a smuggler who knows. It's basically pineapple filled with jam.
Stuff. You know, getting out with it and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, that's
It's gonna take everything I have and flip me the bird for my trouble, isn't it? Rock on. Looks like there'll be no rest till extra. Throwing shock charge. Any of you hotshots want to beat my high score?
Fire sale.
You would think it would take 10 minutes to install like you have to
Get on with it, you overblown slot machine.
And everything else. Like,
Stupid wooden ratback's about as useful as a fart in a jar.
so yeah. Yeah, you gotta climb up the ladder, you gotta do it.
You want to be friends today? Is that it?
Okay, well, if you really, okay, well, I take a look at it. You got it,
Boss, you know exactly what this girl wants. Mind your head! We got low-flying corpses!
Sounds right. It sounds like okay.
Double points.
I mean, you have my Instagram and some on Instagram. What you're talking about.
At this point, I don't care if it shoots fucking acorns, so long as the job gets done. As my people like to say, you're being a proper see you next Tuesday. For me? Really? What's the catch? Sorry, force a habit.
Check. I gotta create something out of nothing. Create money out of nothing. No, but it's supposed to be like, you don't realize that you are like this whole. cash register.
Bonus point.
Come on, come on, come on!
Yeah, I should look in that. People don't realize it.
Don't suppose Uncle Sam gives out medals for lunch and shit.
There's a
Did you
lot
settle for a biggie?
of parts for everything that work out. If people not willing to work together, then the whole society is going to collapse. Like that ability is an athlete in society. People work together to complement. You know, and that's why it's like from other people.
But if you look at like CIBC, for example, they've got 400% debt to equity, and they've got a financial leverage rate of 18.2. So CIBC is actually the most leveraged bank in Canada. Is the Bank of Canada saying that they'll drop rates to zero without actually saying that? We're going to get into that and the banks, because the banks are extremely leveraged right now, and that is something that we have to analyse and discuss. So first of all, Bank of Canada Governor McClellan expects damage from tariffs, hence today's rate cut. Obviously this was last week, but it's very interesting because he said not ruling out an unscheduled rate move if something severe happens suddenly. And I wonder, of course, what that would actually be and entail. Obviously, with the banks as leveraged as they are, that puts everything in a risky position. And you've got to remember, the banks are balancing all their debt on the backs of consumers and businesses that are extremely leveraged and are extremely vulnerable right now. So McClellan also said that he does expect some spillover from uncertainty into the housing market. Obviously, this would be obvious because this is going to impact people's jobs. In fact, it's already impacting people's jobs. I've got numerous reports of companies that are laying off workers, and we'll get into that as well, including a major bank. Diversity has served the Bank of Canada very well. Well, let's take a look at that for a second, because obviously interest rates right now, they're coming down. They may be alluding to the fact that they're going to drop rates to zero if something bad happens. I don't hesitate that they probably would do that, but the thing is, I think that would be a double bottom in the rate, and I don't think we'll ever see rates go that low again after that. And I think if it did happen, it would be a massive mistake. But if you look at what happened with inflation, obviously diversity has not served the Bank of Canada very well. They did not control inflation. They act like they're controlling all these different things, but their core mandate is inflation and price stability. It's not employment, it's not the economy, yet they talk like they have this wide mandate, even wider than the Federal Reserve, when actually it's just price stability and inflation. And I think a lot of that is the political pressure that is there on the Bank of Canada. So very interesting. And then the Wall Street Journal put this out. Canada's big banks raise loan loss provisions, face uncertainty among clients. Now, obviously, they're raising these loan loss provisions, but the fact is they're still in the hundreds of millions, and their debt is in the billions, nearly trillions, especially if you add it up. The bank is over $1 trillion that they have in debt. So they're very, very leveraged. So I want to give you some context on that, because I know it doesn't mean a lot when you just hear it like that. But first of all, you have to look look at how leveraged households are. So if you look at the leveraging up that has happened around 2003, 2004, that's when mortgage debt went parabolic. Most of this is obviously on the housing bubble. It rests on a housing bubble that is fragmented, that is cracking, is bursting. We're seeing people lose their homes. We're seeing the desperation that is happening in the housing market. And that is what all this debt is built on. And you've got private debt that's also extremely high, and it's just been built up in this housing bubble. And a lot of that revolves around real estate as well. You can see the economy heavily dependent on real estate, and one has to acknowledge that as well. So we're going to invest in funds here. You can actually get access to this, by the way. I got an affiliate link in the description. They gave me access to it, and I'm in great fun with it because you can actually see a lot of the metrics about what's going on with the debt-to-equity ratio, which I think is key here, and the financial leverage ratios. And I've got a few US banks here just to compare it and give you some context. And basically, if you look here, so Bank of America has debt-to-equity of 263.4%. They're still pretty leveraged at 12 times. But if you look at like CIBC, for example, they've got 480% debt to equity, and they've got a financial leverage rate of 80.2. Now, obviously, you can see Wells Fargo here is in the hundreds of percent, not in the 400s of percent, at 188.5%, and 12 on the financial leverage. So, obviously, here, yeah, they're raising loan loss provisions, but the fact is that doesn't cover up the insane amount of leverage here. So I put this in a watch list, and you can basically go through the return, the risk.
How you doing?
Oh, I love it, man. So, right now, one guy, he just told me he just got out, so he just got out of jail, and I try to help everyone, so I told him he should come up here and ask somebody for water, because it's hot as hell out here. Like, I got to get some water in my system right here in a minute. It's just too hot, man. But he didn't want to listen, you know what I mean? So he's trying to walk. He said he's like, oh, I'll make it. I mean, I don't think people understand how hot it is out here, man. You can't play with this heat, bro. But I gave him the right advice, man. If people don't want to listen to me, you know, I can only do so much. You know, he'd say, God bless you, basically, and take care of yourself. So that was cool. He seemed like a cool dude. You know, a lot of people, they get caught up or they make mistakes. It is what it is. You feel me? So, number one thing, the bicycle, it's always something, but that's all good because I know what I'm buying, you know what I mean? I understand it's going to have issues. But I don't know if there's, like, a tear in the tire, it looks like. I don't know if it's a complete tear or not. Like I said, it was riding great for a good while, and then it started its nonsense. And, I mean, you know, that's the thing. Anyone can blame it on anything and say, oh, it's something in the road. But, I mean, it would, if it was a steady tire and didn't have any issues already, it's not going to mess up from one ride. I mean, this is, like I said, the last bicycle I bought from the same place, the handlebar flew out, right? And then all this happened to me, right? So, still don't complain for real, right? I still stick with it, persevering as hell. So like I said, I understand that what they're selling me is going to have issues at this point, but man's got to do what he needs to do. And they, it's not really any big deal. Like I said, money will fix all this stuff, but I got a whole other bike. You understand? My inventory, like I said, continues to grow. Okay? I own about, let me think, 1, 2, 3.
Listen up. We've got 3 scientists unaccounted for.
I think this is like my 4th bike. Yeah, my 4th bike. So, like I said, I'll put it in storage. I'll have everything, everything stored up. Like I said, this is all going to be future tools that I can use and resources for what I'm doing. I'm already realizing this bike is quick enough. Like I said, I just need to learn how to get the gas engines and the electric engines and be able to learn how to repair the tires and stuff on my own without using that slime stuff because that's temporary. I don't want to use anything that has to do with chemicals. I want to learn how to actually repair what's wrong with it. You understand? So that I don't have to pay these people. You know what I mean? Because getting it to them is hard enough. That's the pipe. Scared the hell out of me. We've got a huge pit bull who said hi, but
glad it was you.
got a huge pit bull that scared the hell out of me. I told you they got dogs right there. That's where somebody let one loose one day and I was running from it. Big white like pit bull. And it wasn't playing. Like I said, it was gaining ground on me. But yeah, other than that, the bike's in perfect shape. With the handlebars, they're built and backhand. Like the other bike I got. I own all of them. I have the green one. I have the white one. The white one just has a tire that's like got a hole in it. The green one, I have to wrap the inner tube around the brown tire, so it's just going to be a tire replacement to the rim in the back because I was riding it on the rim for a good while, right? And then you got the other one that was brand new, like $200-$300 bicycle, and that one the pedal like messed up, so the bike would have to be repaired, like pedals and everything. And I can't deal with that one because it's got oil all over the chain, like pure oil, and like I'm not gonna sit it. I gotta eat stuff. I mean, I gotta keep washing my hands over and over again, like that's irritating, right? So I'm not gonna do that. So, like I said, first of all, you see what it is, right? You see what's up. You see where I'm at, right? Every day, man, it's the same story, right? We all know what's up. Y'all ain't making me feel nothing. Reality wasn't good. Act like it. Like I said, I live my life free, bro. I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? This was the fake off, bro. Feel me? Yeah, don't get on here pretending with me. So, like I said, how do I put this? This bike is beautiful. It's a Denali, okay? It's an actual, like, corny, lame. Yeah, it's a Denali. Like, what the hell? I never seen a bicycle that's a GM6 Denali. The one I wouldn't go into. I've got a seat cover, right? This is crazy. Let me show you the okay. It's always hard to do everything because people can't give you a moment of peace. So you can think it gets up time. I want to show you all this. Check this out. Alright. You see the handlebars are perfect, right? Yeah, the gears right here, right? They're shaped like that, and so that gives me that angle, that like decline that I need, right? When I'm riding because I'm bent, like hunched over the way Batman is. So it's absolutely perfect. So it looks just like what it is. And see, I can take these nuts and turn them into actual bat mods. They just need an engine. That's all I need. An engine. And if I want, I can add some customization to it. I can build inserts around the arms to hold my arms in and protect me. And that's why it's a bat pod, because you have a little pod protecting you, right, while you're riding, right? You don't have to have those huge tires and all that nonsense. You just need something with like an electric or gas engine on it that can zoom and zip everywhere quick as hell. And that's what Batman needs, because if you're out in the street like I am, you're trying to zip from one destination to the next as fast as you can, right? So you can be all over whatever's going on. See the point? And that's what it's about, is getting from point A to point B as quick as possible, as smooth as possible. And the fact is, you wouldn't really want a motorcycle necessarily because now you've got to get street lights all over the street. What you want is something that travels kind of underground, off terrain, right? All terrain, like this, like a bicycle. That way, you can do everything you need to do, right? Off of the street. See what I'm saying? Chain's fine, bike chain's fine, back tire, air's good on that, right? She had just pumped them both up for me. I made sure she did that, right? You see right there, it's got a water bottle holder. That's perfect. And I got a seat cover. It's really nice. All that stuff costs money. So like I said, here I am again, spending, making money in front of you. And I got a rear light. See that light? Or reflector, the red reflector? Got everything on it. I don't know what this buckle is for. This is another thing to hold something else. See what I'm saying? This is all perfect. See, I just buy them like this, and they good to go. It's got the hand wraps. It's got everything, man. So like I said, the only issue is on this tire. Let me let that go by. On this tire, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like there might be a little tear right there from there to about there. And I think that's the issue. So when I feel, I mean, that was already there. It ain't no way that that just happened from one ride. Come on, bro. These are bicycles. They're made to go over all terrain. Like I said, like I barely rode it in the grass, slow as hell. This is just the way they're selling it to me. So you can see there's not really any air because it's coming out right through that tear. That tear was already there. It's common sense. So it's not going to tear in one ride. This is common sense stuff. So it is what it is. Like I said, I mean, that's on them. This is how they do stuff. I don't know why. And they continue to, but there's nothing I can do about it. Right? But what I can do is I'm buying them, right, so that I can fix them up and have them for me for what I'm doing over time. It's no big deal. It's no big deal whether I'm riding them or not right now. None of it. I don't really need them right now. You understand? I was hoping that it would, be able to make it, in one piece and be all right, but it just is what it is, man. Feel me? Other than that, I got to see if I can find, basically, I probably need a bike pump like a new one, right? And we'll go from there and see if it would hold any air or not. I don't know if that's just on the outside. I don't know if it's on the inside. But I know the air was in it, and I know it came out relatively quickly. So, I mean, like I said, I mean, there's going to be rocks and stuff out here on these streets. I mean, I see all these bicycles, they're just fine. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have, like, flats every day or whatever, holes in the tire, right? And it's not the quality. This is a great bike. It's just, like I said, they keep doing me like this. So, it is what it is. Like I said, it's hard to do these things and climb up when it has to do with just this specific category because they don't let you get a leg up to ever get going. Like if I could just get a bike that actually runs right, I've spent $200, $300 on all the bikes pretty much. Okay? Like, how do I buy them and then immediately they're not working? That's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with me. It has to do with people dropping the ball. But it is what it is, man. And I think they know, too. Like, they know what they're doing. But it's all good. But this is nice, bro. GMC Denali, just like the vehicle, that's what the bike is. It looks like a really sturdy bike. Like I said, this is a perfect prototype for what I need. And like I said, I mean, if I make the money, I could just have the whole tire replaced, probably. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the inner tube around the tire, probably. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's an answer for everything over time. Like, he honked at me. But, yeah, like I said, none of these things are negatives. They're all positives, and it's what I signed up for and signed up to do. So I got to learn more about these bikes, about the tires. You know what I mean? Because repairing a tire isn't easy when it's like that. I mean, that's a big, if it's a tear in the tire, it's a very big tear. Because it's long, it's lengthy. Feel me? So,
all right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Batman Radio, the greatest radio show of all time, and you're tuned in with your host, the greatest radio show host of all time, Batman. That's right, Tyrese Neal. Now, first of all, like I said, I'm in a great mood today. I just want to let y'all know that. I want to rub that in a little bit, right, since I know that's such a big deal to so many people out there. right? First thing I'm going to tell y'all straight up, keep my name out your mouth. I'm not the type of individual that people talk about me or say my name. That's number one. You don't know me. You don't know nothing about me. You don't know my circumstances. You don't know my situation. You don't know nothing about what I go through on a day-to-day basis. You don't know how I do things. Like I said, y'all need to put your money where your mouth is. If y'all got something to say, you need to stop talking behind my back, and you need to stop being a coward and say it to my face. Straight up for all y'all. And if I hear anybody talking crazy around me or saying some lies and some slander and some nonsense about me, I'm going to address you directly in front of you. You understand? It ain't happening, bro. So, see, this is the thing. People think that they can run their mouth, and they think they can talk and say things behind their back that ain't true, right? Like I said, all that nonsense, that's from people who failed. And this is why I'm going to have every comment section blocked now on here, because I'm not even talking about the internet right now. I'm talking about there's actually people in reality, right? I found out from my homeboy. By the way, my friend, I have friends, actual friends, helped me fix that bike. Yeah. And the tire has the slime in it already, so, like, it's perfect because, like, that tire should be sturdy. And we figured out, I think it's like a 26-inch rim. I don't know what the PSI is or whatever, but like he totally fixed it for me. He put air in both of the tires. Like he's literally like my Lucius right now to Batman. Lucius was the guy who helped Batman build all this stuff and helped him build his suits. And he knows like mechanics and like electronics. So the next step is, like I said, he might know how to fix my bat cycle. Yes, because it's just a wiring issue. So the thing is, it probably just needs wiring. And if the wire is out, which I think it may be, I'll have to take a look at it when I have a chance, right? So if the wire is out, he says he might be able to figure it out to be able to rig it and get the wire, like use his own wire to rewire it, and then it'll be able to run because the engine shut off because, like I said, I ripped out the wire and a spark flew up right in front of me because I'm Batman. I'm that hardcore. So first of all, I'm the real thing. Second of all, none of you know what my purpose is or what I do. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but you don't know what I do on a day-to-day basis because I'm not a normal civilian, a normal human being. I assist and help all these agencies and all these people, whether they like it or not, right? I don't need consent. I don't need permission. And like I said, we all know what it is, okay? We all know what I do. We all know what time it is. And I run the streets, and I took over every block for real, and, like, I'm really the real deal, and I'm downright menacing. I'm beyond intimidating, all right? I'm the scariest thing ever, and literally everybody's worst nightmare come true. So that's number one thing you need to understand, right? I don't play games. When I do something, I do it for real. So number one, first thing, bro, if people got anything to say towards me or about me, right, what you can do is go ahead. You see this cash up? See that? You can donate. Yeah, you can spend money. And then, like I said, also
Alright, we got the tacos here. As they know, we are eating some tacos. Hard shell tacos. Try it out.
What? What you say anything about me? On the social media star, I'm like, you're an entire generation of what this is, what you talking about. You got bunkers and stuff all day. Boy, stop it. You got something to say, you say it right in front of me. Any of y'all. You know what I mean? What you talking about, bro? That's what I said, like, y'all look like that. Y'all look tasty, y'all wouldn't have to put up with this guy. I said, you know what, I'm saying, please face. Like I said, I got people who I know are undercover gamers, like I said. One of them, like I said, they bought me a deal a long time ago. I feel like you only did that because you wanted to feel like you were above something. Like I said, you literally have the most impoverished neighborhood in all of Brownsville. You live cheaper than anyone in Brownsville. What are you talking about, bro? These people are married, bro. You're a poverty landlord trying to talk down on other people while you're stuck in a fast food job. That's success. I ran my own restaurant, bro. You know, 11 bands like nothing. That means I can open my own restaurant anytime I want. I have a license to create anything I want. All I need is the budget. I'm tired of these people acting like I'm doing something all of I can do more. No, I do everything and more than anyone. I can is really to make sure that nobody can ever say anything about me. That's exactly what I do, and not why. That's like the purpose that gets gained without me trying to what people say. But you still what you want, man. There's no other part of me. I've been working since I was 16, ain't stop yet. Talking about you don't have a job. Yeah, okay. Maybe you just don't know what I do. Yeah, like I just sit there for 43 best from 18 days to the owner to look to. Like I'm a teddy bear. Like what? That's like I said, the delusional folks get on the news. Yeah, it's a costume. And you know it ain't a costume. Bulletproof vest is a costume, bro. You sound silly because that's how you live your life. That's you. You're silly, right? That's a joke. Fun, right? I don't care what jokers have to say, right? I don't take any jokers seriously because all you are, you don't take yourself seriously. Like, yeah, it's clear that I don't play. It's clear what I do. So, like I said, what's good? You know, a real deal. You gotta keep on being out your mouth. Every one of you, straight up. Now I'm gonna start talking like I really can't work. Now you're gonna let the cat out the bag and leave me, bro. I'm the most notorious gangster in America. Are you serious? You know, I'm gonna work out for the street. You know how much history I got? Well, I'm trying to remain calm and stay cool. Are you serious? Trust me, bro. The last thing you're gonna do is leave me more because I'm not these other dudes. I'm not Miles Taylor, right? I'm not that other dude, Chris Banks. I'm not these fools. I mean, those are literally some silly individuals, bro. Those are some fools. I'm a real deal, over deal, for real. Anything you do with me is real. Anything you do with me to Bob is real. You know what I'm saying? You know me? And like I said, like HGe said with his weird song, this is how it's so right. That's my gangster. Anybody don't believe it? That's my gangster. Real talk. I don't care where I'm at. That's my gangster. Like what? Trust me, bro. One thing you don't see about me, I've never done enough talking. I got so many stripes in the street on every single block out here. It's not real, bro. I can't even walk down the street without knowing I have a real clutching history there. Yeah, actual altercations on where you don't know me. I took a hell yeah. $1 million on the street calls for real. Film. I'm on top of that, you mean I just did. Everybody else is that's all you'll ever do when you're in that. It's the way you're raised. You understand? It is in your DNA. They always have some negative to say, like they all love someone. So all y'all see on TikTok all day, like it's look like, I mean, you can't even raise them right, you're raising them to be discriminate towards me. I mean, is that really a good look? But if you've got something to say, I suggest you shut up straight up. I'll tell you straight up what it is. I suggest you keep my name out your mouth, bro. I don't know what people are talking about. I've done it turned up a million times in front of everyone and let everybody know what it is, especially down here. Boy, stop me, bro. I got history in North Carolina, ATL, all over Georgia, all over Florida, and the worst neighborhoods in America, the toughest ghettos, the highest, you know what race I come from. Like, I've not only survived, I've come out of absolute impossible lives. I do this for a living. I study criminals, I study all you people, I study anyone with my name in their mouth. Keep my name out your mouth. That's the good idea. Because if not, I'm going to pay attention to you. And you don't want me paying attention to you. You don't want Batman paying attention to you because I actually have the power to affect everything. Yeah, and I have the power to literally, like, have your freedom. Yeah, to put you in jail and prison because all y'all do illegal activity, all y'all some fake criminal, you're not even real criminal. You understand? Oh, I know real thugs are real, fucking deal with them for entire life. Y'all ain't it. Y'all some posers. And you'll still get locked up for being a thunder. You feel that? Anything else? Like I said, I study everyone. I study agencies. I study everyone around me and every move that everybody makes. Yeah, I shut down illegal operations. Like I said, I shut down all that stuff that y'all do. I shut down all of that stuff. I already did it. Hands on. Boy, asked about me. So at the end of the day, I'm super proud of who I am. Can't be nothing but proud. I'm a real G, a real gangster. And that's all I've proven. I don't have nothing to prove to everybody in public. See, that's the thing. They start talking to who is you. Y'all would never talk to me like that if I was around. We all know that. So don't do it when I'm not. That's all. Other than that, like I said, every single one of you little cowards online, keep having my name in your mouth. You want to talk this delusion, I'll come here and type. Like I said, I don't want to lost things signed away for no excuse. All you gotta do is show up and post it, sign away for it. Yes, you're all invited. Yes, no nuances, no catches, no moving around it. Just pull up straight in front of me and sign away for it. That's all you gotta do. Any of you. Have y'all done that yet? No, because you're hiding and running from me. That man's in the street every day with you. What's up? Ain't hiding. Don't make it up. I've dropped my location for my entire life on social media. I started all these trends. I'm the pull-up king. Yeah. What you talking sign a waiver. Go tell them that email inbox. I'll never open it again. Good luck with this. All of that stuff's going to be documentation before you think when the lawyer sees that. He's not going to say immediately put on the warrant. They got to get arrested today. They've been doing this for this many years, saying that type of stuff to you, and you were thrown in, and you're trying to survive and make a living. You help everyone, take care of everyone, do everything for everyone by yourself, and you got to deal with that. Hell no. That's what they're going to say. And the judge is going to say the same thing. And guess what? Y'all going to be serving like lengthy sentences in prison. I honestly think it's going to be life sentences. I really do. And like I said, there's corrupt doctors involved in this. There's corrupt cops involved in this. There's corrupt nurses involved in this. There's corrupt people that work in the lobby of these places that took your phone calls and talk to you too much. All that stuff is legal, right? And it's all going to come out. See, you can't cover your tracks. We'll probably Karina did all that stuff super illegal. And they know allegedly, we know what you did, and you tampered with my trust. I should have the email record still, unless the email deleted us. Anything else? Yeah, I'm not worried about anything from all that, man. Justice is justice, karma is karma, and I am vengeance. And you doubt me for 1 minute, good luck you stay my name, good luck you come against me, you go against God. Anybody speaking negatively on my name, I guarantee they're immediately cursed and they have to deal with instant karma. And I'm talking karma that really you suffer for every generation that you know will suffer. That's the truth. Let's get real. Yeah, ain't no more holding back. Now let's play the game. Now let's see who wants to play the game. You know me? Yeah, I've been about to talk for a long time. Only now I'm going to let you know what really who you talking to. This time, now you get that for you know someone you don't know nothing. Feel that? You know, you never know me. Ask about my name, bro. Speak.
Okay, I was out last week. I sort of ate a lot of thoughts about all sorts of things. I didn't watch the whole government funding debacle from afar. It feels to me like it's about time for a really honest conversation about Democratic leadership in Washington right now and what the heck is going on there. So we're definitely going to have that conversation tonight. I have my own thoughts I'm going to share with you too. There are also some good things happening out there, no doubt. I mean, we're going to talk about those too. Democrats like Tim Walz held town hall meetings in red districts over the weekend. That's great. Senator Ruben Gallego held a town hall in Phoenix, Arizona today. He's going to join me later tonight to talk about how that went. We're also going to talk about the hearing tonight over deportations that just wrapped up. Brian Riley was in the courtroom. He's hustling over here in the studio, and he's going to tell us about everything that happened in that room and what the judge had to say.
Hi, this is Peter Schiff of Schiff Gold. Today is March 17th, 2025, and it's not only St. Patrick's Day, but it is the first day where the spot gold price closed above $3,000 an ounce. The exact close was $3,001.80. The gold first closed above $2,000 back in April of 2020. That was during the
gone up 10x in the price of gold so far this century. Gold is beating the S&P 500, and I think it's going to accelerate from here and even take a bigger lead on the stock market as the stock market goes down, but it's doing it in complete obscurity. There is no gold rush going on. Investors haven't woken up. In fact, all of the buying really is being driven by the central bankers. Investors haven't even woken up to what central banks are doing, but the central bankers are the insiders of the fiat monetary system. So when you see in the stock market, if the insiders who work at the company are buying company stock, that's a good sign. If they're selling company stock, then maybe they know something bad and you should follow their lead. Well, the insiders in the fiat monetary system have been dumping their dollars to buy gold. They obviously know something, and the public hasn't caught on. So I think, unlike the prior peaks of 2000, I don't expect any significant pullback from the current $3,000 price. In fact, we're probably going to go straight up to 4,000 and beyond. And in fact, when gold hit 2000 in 2020, in April of 2020, the dollar index was at 93. Today, the dollar index is at 103. So the dollar has increased 10%. And what that means is that the price of gold in other currencies, like the Australian or Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen, or a lot of other currencies, gold has done even better in terms of those currencies than it has in terms of the dollar. But my expectation is that the dollar has topped and is headed substantially lower. I expect the dollar index to get down to 93 again before the end of the year. In fact, I think it'll go lower. But when the dollar index hits 93 next time, I expect gold to be pretty close to $3,500 an ounce, not $3,000. So this is the time to buy. But actually, instead of buying gold, which you could buy, and I still recommend because it's going up, you can buy silver, because silver is still below $34 an ounce. The reason that silver has not gone along for the ride with gold is because central banks aren't buying silver. That's what retail investors buy. Silver has been described as the poor man's gold. Well, men and women haven't been buying gold or silver unless they're central bankers. So silver is the sleeper precious metal that's about to wake up. Silver doubled top at 50 in 2011. It didn't even get back to 50 in 2020. It got to about 35. We're almost there now, but still not quite. I mean, gold has gone up by 50%, and the price of silver has gone down. That's really unprecedented. The other time silver hit $50 was 1980, when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the market. I think we're going to see $50 silver probably this year. And I think when it breaks $50, it's going to be like gold breaking 2000. It's going to go up really and not look back. So if you missed the boat on gold, although it's not really missed because I think it's going a lot higher, but if you miss buying $2,000 gold, you don't want to miss buying sub $34 silver or even sub 50 because you won't be able to get those prices for long. And at Ship Gold, we got gold in the name, but we still sell silver. So you can call up Ship Gold and order some silver. And then you know what? When silver really makes a move,
with the stock market tanking, senior business analysts on networks like CNBC are now going after Donald Trump. Insanity is not a strategy. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, former state attorney for Palm Beach County, a.k.a. the Florida lawman here on the Midas Touch Network. Check out Steve Leisman, who's been around a long time, well-respected economic analyst at CNBC, who doesn't normally criticize Donald Trump, but this is what he said about the latest round of tariffs. Check this out.
Happening at the same time.
I'm going to say this at risk of my job, Kelly, but what President Trump is doing is insane. It is absolutely insane. It is about the 8th reason we've had for the tariffs, and now he's saying he's putting 50% tariffs on Canada unless they agree to become the 51st state. That is insane. There is just no other way of describing it. And the trouble, Kelly, is that it shows there are no bounds around President Trump. This is very different from the first administration, where there were people around him who seemed to, I don't know what the right word is, but smooth over some of the edges now. And the other thing that's not talked about, Kelly, is what's going on within the administration in terms of how they're treating the Constitution and laws. I think all of that is bad for the attraction of capital. And the gentleman from Bridgewater is 100% right. We need mass put out to capital if we want to fund our deficits, pay for the things we want to pay for, sell our bonds, and have high stock prices. And it seems as if this administration is doing everything it can to chase foreign capital.
And we're starting to see more and more economists come out and criticize Trump for his tariffs, which everyone knew was a bad idea. But if we had a working Congress, maybe they would actually say something about it. But they decide to just emasculate themselves and decide to give up all their power to the executive branch. So far, only the judiciary is doing anything to provide the guardrails. But when it comes to tariffs, they're on and off and on and off. And as Steve Leisman said, now the explanation is that he wants Canada to be the 51st state, and if not, they're going to have the tariff. I mean, it's insanity, and insanity is not a strategy. So as prices go up and the stock market goes down, more and more people are speaking out. But it's not just people you see on TV, it's also ordinary Americans who've had enough. In fact, Trump got elected because of the price of eggs, and that was a big reason why, and the public led to believe that somehow his economy was the best economy, and he inherited a really strong economy, and then he inherited again in 2024, 2025, another very strong economy with the stock market doing very well, and now look what's happened. And the public is taking notice. According to The Hill, more than half of the respondents in a survey released Wednesday say they disapprove of President Trump's handle on the economy. And this is the first time the polls have shown now Trump's formerly strongest issue has now turned against and then become a liability. The CNN poll found that 56% of respondents disapprove of the way Trump has handled the economy since returning to office, while 44% say they approve, and 1% say they don't have an opinion on the matter. And those who say they approve wait until they start seeing the price of eggs and other goods, especially those affected by these tariffs. Results were statistically similar to survey respondents' general approval of the way Trump is handling his job as president, 54% disapproving, 45% approving, and 1% saying they're not sure. This survey shows. By the way, how do you say you're not sure? How do you not have an opinion about what's going on today? Get off the sidelines, right? And now Trump is not ruling out the possibility of a recession. And so that is something different from it used to be, where you talk up the economy. It used to be he cared deeply about the stock. Now this is uncharted territory. Just doing tariff can, saying that we can go into a recession because he doesn't care, because he's not running for re-election and he's not allowed. We'll see what happens then. Well, what do you think the Republicans are thinking in the House, who all are on the ballot in 2026? It doesn't bode well for the Republicans, and historically a bad time for the incumbent party. Once an incumbent party has the White House, they lose seats in the House, and so that slim House majority is in great peril. When people say that 2028 is a long way away, well, maybe so, but not 2026. That'll be here soon, and we know it, and that would itself just cut Trump's power off the knees, because once you've lost the House, you now have new oversight and ability to stop the Trump agenda. Right now, the House doesn't have power because they've given up power. It's something unique. We've never seen this in American history, where the legislative branch decided to give away all its power. This is the branch, after all, that had the power of the pocketbook, the power of the purse, seen as, by the framers, the most powerful branch you've got. We would know it the way that they're acting now. But that will change, especially if we get a recession, especially if the price of household goods and food like eggs continues to go up, and especially if 401ks continue to go down. Remember those who care about budget deficits, because Trump never did, but now with Doge, I guess that's a big priority. It's not working. According to CNBC, the U.S. debt and deficit problem worsened during President Donald Trump's first month in office, as the budget shortfall for February passed the $1 trillion mark, even though the fiscal year is not yet at the halfway point. And then you add on the Trump tax cuts that he wants for the rich, along with elimination of the taxes on tips and Social Security benefits. That would add trillions and trillions more to the national debt. So you're talking about higher tariffs, lower stock market, higher deficit, higher prices on everything. When's the good part coming in? When's the best economy in the world coming in? So we'll see if anyone has the spine to actually block this race to financial ruin. But it seems that the Republicans only become fiscal hawks when the Democrats are in power. Yes, deficits, debt just overwhelm our economy, and they'll find a Democratic president to blame. Or maybe they'll blame DEI. I wish I had some better news. I always have to be an optimist. But I guess the better news is the public is starting to pay attention to the town hall meeting.
So these stories are intended to exploit people's feelings. But nowhere in the stories do they tell people that just last fiscal year alone, improper Medicare payments reached an estimated $54 billion. Let's repeat that. Improper payments. Payments that shouldn't have been made in the first place. That's what the Trump administration is going after. How many times does the president need to say?
I'm not going to touch Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. No, we're going to get fraud out of this. Social Security will not be touched. It will only be strengthened. I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question. I'm not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud. I'm sure you're okay with that.
All right, joining us now, the great Steve Moore, Committee to Unleash Prosperity, co-founder and co-author of the Trump Economic Miracle. Steve, it is great to see you. I mean, this record never changes, does it? That any kind of attempt to actually deliver value for money for taxpayers is branded as a cut.
Yeah, great point, Steve. And so you're exactly right that if you look over the next 5 years, Medicaid is expected under the Republican budget to grow by 3%. I think that's outrageous. This is a program that's grown by 50% over the last 5 years. It's what's bankrupting our country. We should be slashing these funds. The Republicans are spending way too much on this program. If you ask me, why should we be increasing a program budget when, as you just said, Steve, the amount of fraud in the budget for Medicaid is about $125 to $150 billion. Now, I want to make another point about how Medicaid is ripping off people. The state that I think they're from California,
Exactly.
I don't even live there.
I was about to make the same point, but you beat me to it.
I hate to take a shot at your state, but you know, California this year is scheduled to get $125 billion from Medicaid. So what is happening in Wisconsin is Gavin Newsom is signing up everybody he possibly can in the state for Medicaid. You know why? Because the federal government pays 90%, and the state only pays 10%. So that Gavin Newsom sees as a way to flush money into the state of California. It's being ripped off. The program has to be re-engineered. And by the way, Medicaid is the worst medical coverage in the country. People have Medicaid coverage have no better health outcomes than people don't have any health insurance at all.
It's actually worse than that because California is using a loophole that allows them to essentially money launder. They're siphoning money. They tax managed care providers, but this is not an actual contribution that the state makes to Medicaid, but they somehow largely get reimbursed for it. And if they close the loophole in Washington, it will save $630 billion from this grid.
Well, can I just make the point that you've got now pretty much half the residents of California on a program that's supposed to be for the very, very poorest. And on top of that, guess what? They've just asked for an emergency loan, Gavin Newsom has, to fund it. Why?
because they last year gave it to illegal immigrants shouldn't be in the country in the first place.
And so the federal taxpayers are also footing the bill for illegal migrant Medicaid, which is illegal at the federal level, but he's managed an end around to get that done. Don't get me mad. The show just started. This also made me mad because the social media went after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for delivering a hard-hitting reality check to all the tariff critics, reminding them what the American dream is really about. Steve, listen to this.
The American dream is not let them eat flat screen. That if American families aren't able to afford a home, don't believe their children will do better than they are. The American dream is not contingent on cheap bawlll data from China. That it is more than that, and we are focused on affordability.
People all over social media went after the Treasury Secretary for saying it's not about let them eat flat screens. But that is exactly what, Steve, politicians and corporate executives and the big money donors did to the American people. And they did it to the people with whom I grew up. And we realized that China was the enemy and that all of these individuals were the enemy 40-some-odd years ago because they unbolted our factories, packed them up, and told us all that our lives would be better. And that we would be retrained and we would have better jobs, but we got sold. That we traded for flat panel TVs. That's all we got. An inflatable crap in our front yard. All we got is driving 4 hours round trip to a receptionist job paid for by, you got it, Medicare and Medicaid. That's what we got. So bravo to the Treasury Secretary, Steve.
Yeah, look, if people are concerned about falling incomes, and I am, I know the two of you are, then people did have falling incomes. I mean, under Joe Biden, the average family, after 4 years of Biden's high inflation and declining paychecks, actually Americans were poor. That's why the Democrats lost the election. Trump, almost everything he is doing, whether it's deregulating the economy, cutting the taxes, finding the waste in the federal government, all of these things are going to help middle-class America. They're going to raise wages and salaries. Look, just compare what happened with Trump versus Biden. Trump was president for 4 years. The average family had a $6,000 increase in their family income. Under Biden, the average family lost $1,000. So if you want to help the middle class and struggling families, Trumponomics is the way to go.
Exactly. Thank you, Steve Moore. That's exactly right. And I think the interesting thing about this story, Taken, is the fact that there's an underlying depth of intellectual change going on here with these tariffs and all these American First policies that actually rebalance the economy away from cheap imports in favor of producing things here that are of value and create valuable jobs for Americans.
Yep, Steve, final word, you're nodding. But the federal government told the people.
Joining me now are two people who know a whole lot about life in red states. John Tester is a former U.S. Senator from Montana, and Mitch Lander is the former mayor of New Orleans. I'm so delighted you both could make it this evening and so excited to talk to you. Senator, let me start with you. I mean, you represented Montana for years. One of the things I always admired about you is you were so much more Montana than you ever were Washington. You were so in touch with your voters. But I kind of went through there some of the ways that these policies are impacting people or could impact people across the country. Let me start by asking you, what did I miss there in terms of how these policies could impact people in your state?
Well, tariffs were a big one because we depended on export markets to market our grains and post processors. So I think what he has proposed to do with the Postal Service is incredible nail in the coffin for America. I think if you take a look at what he's done with the VA, 10% of the people who live in a rural state like Montana are veterans. And you can say you're not cutting benefits, but if you have the people in the VA to deliver those benefits, you have cut those benefits.
Bawlll for now, former U.S. Special Representative for Ukraine negotiations during President Trump's first term. Great to have you here, sir. What goes through your mind as you think about this conversation between these two men tomorrow, and what is at stake?
Well, I think the first thing is that Ukraine has agreed to offer an immediate ceasefire, and that this would last 30 days and work towards agreeing a deal. And Putin has rejected an immediate ceasefire so far. He has said that in order to have any ceasefire, he needs to have X, Y, and Z additional things. So Ukraine has basically accepted President Trump's proposal, and Russia so far has not. So when we have this conversation tomorrow, I think that's the first question for President Putin. Is he also prepared, as Ukraine is, to have an immediate ceasefire to stop the carnage?
Which is not the case. President Trump consistently says that he wants to see. Or if not, if he starts making additional demands about territory that he wants to have that he has to get taken from Ukraine, about permanent neutral status, about change of government or elections in Ukraine, even though it's under conditions of warfare. These are all things that are distracting.
So I got world's best food stick. Oh, that's four-door. See? How me they kidnapped me? No, it's not. That's the car. Today I have a special package to open. I'm going to be giving $1 million. Guess what's in it? It's supposed
Blanchard. Barricaded the command center. I'm a little ringed up.
Wow. I got it.
If there's anyone left to say.
Now, something feels wrong with this thing.
Oh!
Holy! I was punching in the face. Yeah, once I get enough air, I can do this. Did you put propane in it instead? They're not involved in this thing. They don't exist in California, and I'm bigger than that.
Full pressure, you can bounce up to 10 feet.
10 feet?
Yeah.
How much pressure is it? 1,000 It's way too solid.
What's the Cybertruck?
Yes? Hey. Oh! Oh!
He's pretty.
Hey, try the Pogo stick. It's really safe.
We're actually very close to Germany. It's such a fairy tale landed name. Yeah, if you're saying with the right accent, it actually works. Rolling weird down.
Weird in.
I feel like I'm in like a clean Indiana. Ball holes everywhere. Show them. Everyone missed the giant ball hole. Show them.
This is Louisville, Kentucky now. We made it out of Bowling Green.
This is the windmills of Holland. That's all the tourists come here for. Cool, let's take some pictures. These are built by like old farmers. The water flows through the bottom.
We can just keep driving through here.
What's up? What's up? I want to see the flowers too. Good idea. Did you get that?
I did get the right. This is kind of just like something we can find.
It's like out of the movie. Oh, wow. Grandparents just walking along the street. You don't see people walk in America. No one walks. They have animals here. It feels like if you would run into like a landmine and you walk over it. Like a rolling along these grasses. I would pedal along the breeze, experiencing the wind in my hair. Look, Danny, I don't know how much longer I can take this extraordinarily slowly. I know there's steps here, but we're
the trailer
But I
thing,
care.
really transported.
It's a donkey.
Right, we have just arrived in Germany,
You
and
know
I got the
exactly what this
nicest
girl
Airbnb
wants.
we find. They don't really have key or hot water or like the little side areas either. It's like an Indiana Jones equation. I genuinely feel like I'm in the Soviet era. I can just sell their silver company. In America, we know like the exact temperature of the air. Here, they're like, oh, there's our Airbnb which has been in and out of for like 5 or 6 times. I don't know what's going on. Everything is so cold and hard. I feel like I need a military and like a med. They have a cobblestone. That looks like it's going up the drum set chick. Yeah.
What's with the Jersey barriers?
They really are giving like dignity. Let's sit by the water. That chair looks comfortable. If you're like 1,000 cuts, yeah. I think more. Oh my god. That is so bad. It looks like I'm gonna find like a gator. I'm not gonna diss it. But this place, how is this giving me like vibe? Like we might be bombed. Dude, why are they so tiny? American trash cans are like, yeah, okay, so you can go away, refrigerator. Here in Germany, they eat dust and refund. Inside an iron start and I can make my country would have like running water. We would have lots of schools, but then feel like that go. Every house comes with a nuclear generator. What's in your output? I would make it so that every resident would the value of the money, just not the different money. We would resort to some methods like being set up with we have
Okay, but my 4 naval battleships will absolutely wound your evaporator.
It's literally trained to evaporate battleship. It's standby.
It's a heavy weapon.
It's a cat. I've been a cat. It's kids. If I were to talk like one of the residents here, everyone would say I'm racist. King Jack.
Whistling Diesel will Vollgas geben auf einer deutschen Autobahn. You understand Autobahn, right?
Yeah, I understand all of that.
Let's choose a car.
Standing next to the Lamborghini I'm going to buy with all the money I made back from using the upside down. I have been able to make quite a bit of money back with the money I saved on gas, and I'm here in Germany, and I've been able to afford many nice cars because of the money I made back on the upside down. This Mercedes, that Ferrari, that Bentley, another Porsche. Upside works with 100,000 plus different gas stations, convenience stores. You can make all this money back by using the upside down. So with all the money that you make back, it goes automatically back in your bank account after you submit the receipts. You link your bank account to it, submit the receipts, you make all this money back, and save money on everyday purchases. I flew to Africa just for this segment to tell you all that upside users are making as much